Hi everyone. Hope this is working okay. If you could write in the comments, please, just to let me know that it's all working and that this class is coming through successfully to you. For this Silver Swans class this afternoon, it's quite different. We're doing an afternoon session. I normally do a morning class, but you know, obviously, hopefully it's something to cheer up a very grey and miserable raining day. Like I said, hopefully anyway, it's all coming through now anyway. I will just explain to you, yes, it's working, thank you. Just got my first comment there. So I'll just explain a little bit about today's session. So Silver Swans ballet classes are specially designed for the over 55s. So it is real ballet that we're doing. We're doing our bar work, we're doing centre work. And but in Silver Swans, we don't do things like pirouettes and big jumps. There's a strong emphasis on repertoire as well, which is what we're going to do today. So today's session is going to be centered around the ballet of Sleeping Beauty. Now, Sleeping Beauty is kind of one of those iconic ballets that is always you know, it's in the core repertoire of any ballet company. So we're actually going to learn a little bit of the Carabosse mime. So I hope that so we're going to channel our inner theatrical villain today. It's a really fantastic mime sequence. To be honest, it's probably one of the most famous mime sequences out of any ballets. It's quite good fun to do, actually. So like I said, we'll just start off with a general ballet class. Today's session is aimed at absolute beginners, so I'll be explaining everything from the start. If you could pop in the chat, please, everyone, you know, just add in, have you danced before? Is this going to be your first ballet class that you're trying today? Say whereabouts you're joining in from as well. It'd be lovely to hear where you're joining in from and what your experience is of ballet. So we're just going to start off with 2 warm-ups to begin with. The first warm-up just gets us moving, and the second one's a little bit more for your feet. Before we begin, just check you've got enough space around you, that you're not going to trip over anything, and that your flooring's suitable. You will need something to use as a ballet bar. I have a dining room chair, but we don't need it straight away for this first warm-up. Okay, so we'll just get started. So this first warm-up, it's nice and easy, just following along. And we'll just start off by walking around our room. If you haven't got enough space to walk around your room, then you can just walk on the spot. Okay, let's begin. So, walking round. Keep walking. Okay, now taking your hands slowly up and bring them down and up and down and up and down. Now coming into the middle, and we've got our hands in front, and we're going to bend and stretch and bend and stretch and bend and stretch. And then now we're going to take both hands behind us and in front of us and behind and in front. Now we're going to sway to the side. Big bend and stretch and bend and stretch and bend and stretch, bend and stretch, bend and stretch. One more sway, feet together, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, good, right. Let me take off my layers, getting nice and warm now. So we're going to now do our second walk. Now this one is specifically for your feet. So we're going to use something as a ballet bar now. So I'll just pull out my dining room chair. Just something sturdy that won't wobble over is absolutely fine. So for this exercise, like I said, we're really just getting our feet moving. But before we begin, I'm going to just explain a little bit about how we stand at our ballet bar. If we're too close to our ballet bar, then your elbows are bent. If you're too far away, your elbows are straight. So we want to stand just with them having a nice soft curve. They should be very relaxed, and we want our shoulders to feel relaxed as well. Okay, so the first exercise, we'll start off with our feet together. We're going to go to what we call our demi point. So demi meaning half, So it's half a pointed foot. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up my heel, so my toes are creasing, and then I'm going to go to a point, to a demi-point, and down. Then with the other leg, demi-point, to a point, demi-point, and down. Same again, demi-point, to a point, demi-point, and down. Same again, to a point, demi-point, and down. Then we're going to point and flex our foot. So I'm pointing my foot in front and flexing it. Really push your heel down. You'll feel a nice stretch there. Pointing and closing, pointing, flexing, pointing, closing. Same again. And then same again. Okay, now like I said, this session is aimed at absolute beginners today, so only do what you know it's safe for you to do. Always feel free to adapt to anything in the session to what you feel you're capable of doing. Okay, let's give it a go now for our second warm-up, which is just for your feet. Okay, so demi-point, to a point, demi-point, and down. Other leg, demi-point, to a point, demi-point, and down. Same again, to a point, demi-point, and down. Pointing and flexing, and flex, and point, and close, and point, and flex, and point, and close, point, and flex, and point. One more, pointing, flexing, and pointing, and closing. That's a nice cheery warm-up for us. So we're going to now do our first official exercise at the bar, which is what's called our pliés. Now, plié means to bend. We're doing what's called a demi-plié. So demi meaning half, so it's half a bend. But I'll just put that to one side for one moment and explain about the positions of the feet in a ballet class. So, if you just stand with your feet together, for a dancer, our turnout comes from our hips. So it's the whole of your leg that's rotating outwards. So keeping your heels together, just turn your toes away from each other, just so it's nice and comfortable. So your feet are almost at like a right angle. And that's feet in first position. Okay, so it should feel comfortable. We're not overturning out our feet. Just nice and comfortable where you can feel your big toe, your little toe, and your heel, just all your weight evenly distributed between your feet. Now, if you keep your feet turned out the same, but now add a space between them, that's second position. So in second position, we want our weight to be in the middle. So we don't have weight on more on one leg than on the other. This will become apparent in a minute why that's so important. Going back to first position, if you bring one of your feet in front, so your heel is in contact with the middle of your back foot, that's feet in third position. Okay, so we've got first position. If you point your foot to the side and lower it down, then we get second position. If you point your foot and close it in front, we get third position. And those are the three of the 5 positions of the feet in ballet. And we're going to use these 3 in our pliés exercise. So feet in first. I'm just going to face the camera for this. A plié is a bend and stretch. So the thing that you have to just be careful of when you're doing a plié is that your heels are staying in contact with the floor. So I'm bending and stretching. Okay, so facing your ballet bar for this setting. So again, just check you're the correct distance away from your bar. And we'll stand with our feet in first position, shoulders nice and relaxed. We're going to take 2 demi-pliés. Bending, I'll just turn to face camera a bit more, and stretching, bending and stretching. Now I'm going to go into a rise. So just a little lift of your heels and putting them back down into first. Just be careful when you take a rise that you don't push out onto your little toes. We want to make our ankles nice and strong. So think of a straight line all the way down through your ankles as you lower down. You can go all the way up. We would describe it as our demi-point. Or you can just have a little lift, which we call our quarter point. Both very strengthening positions. Then we'll point our foot to second and we'll repeat it all in second. 2 demi-pliés, bending and stretching, knees going out to the side, heels stay in contact with the floor, and stretching, a little rise, lowering down, and then we'll go to third position. So bringing your foot in front, bending and stretching. Make sure your weight is equal on both feet, bending and stretching, rising and lowering. Then we'll close back into first position. Now I've been focusing so much on our legs, we're just going to take a few counts to think about our arms. So we'll take one hand all the way up, a nice big circle round, and putting it back onto your bar. And then same with the other hand, reaching it up, opening out, and putting it back onto your ballet bar to finish off. So we describe that as a port de bras. I'll come back to that word later on in the lesson. Okay, it's all to do with your arms. So let's give our pliés a go. First position, second position, third position, ready to then take that port de bras. So feet in first. A little bit of music from Sleeping Beauty. Okay, and demi-plie. And stretch. Bending. And stretching now into a little rise. And we'll go to second position. Same in second, bending your knees. And stretching, knees going over your toes. And stretching, little rise. And we'll now close into third position. So your heel of your front foot is in contact with the middle of your back foot. Bending. And stretching. Bending. And stretching. And rise. And we'll close back into first position. Are you ready to use your arms? Taking your hand up all the way out. And onto your bar. And the other hand, one hand. And opening out. And onto your bar. Okay, good. So that is your pliés exercise. It's one of my favourite exercises. I think it's just such a peaceful, gentle start to a ballet class. Okay, for your next exercise, we're going to do one called a battement tendu. Battement tendu, all it is pointing and closing your feet. Now, this is, I believe it to be my 14th session in the virtual village hall this today. We've always done our battement tendus facing the bar. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a go at doing them with one hand on the ballet bar. So I'm just going to turn my chair around. Now, again, while we're holding onto a bar with one hand, we're thinking about this elbow. It gives us a good idea of how close we should be standing to our bar. If you're using a chair, pop yourself along the back edge of the chair and then put your hand into the middle of it. So it keeps this hand in front of you. And your other hand is going to go onto your waist. And again, if you have your elbows pointing to the side, it keeps your shoulders nice and square. Because it's surprising how much an incorrectly placed hand can affect your posture, which in turn obviously affects your balance as well. So we have our outside leg, which is your leg furthest away from the ballet bar, and you have your inside leg. For today's exercise, your inside leg isn't really going to do anything. It's just going to be your supporting leg. Your working leg is going to be your outside leg. So your outside leg is going to point to the front. So it's pointing straight forwards. And then we're going to slide it back into first position. We're then going to slide your leg to the side until it goes to a point and close it into first. Now we're going to slide it right behind us until it goes into a point and closing in, taking a demi-plie and stretch. Now we're going to reverse it. So I'm going to go right behind me, keeping your legs nice and straight and closing, then to the side, closing in, and then to the front and closing in, bending your knees in a plie and stretch. So we're keeping our legs nice and pulled up all the time. When we're pointing our feet in front and behind us, think about keeping it just in front of your hip and your shoulder. When you go to second, think about your big toes being opposite each other. It's a good indicator of whereabouts that leg should be going to the side. Okay, and a little demi-plie thrown in there as well. So feet in first position. It's your outside leg doing all the work in this exercise. Okay, let's go with music. And we'll go to the front and close, to the side and close, derriere and closing in, demi-plie. Now we'll reverse, keeping your legs nice and straight to the back and close to second devant, which is to the front, and closing in demi-plie, and stretch. Okay, so now we've worked one leg, so we need to work the other leg now. So normally in a ballet class, we would turn around and face the other direction, but obviously, you know, it's very difficult following along with a video. So what's great about chairs is that you can just swap it over to the other side. And then you can repeat the exercise with the other leg. So we're using our outside leg, so it's your other leg now. Okay, so feet in first position. Just check you're standing correctly at your bar before we begin. Okay. Okay, so outside leg to the front, and closing to the side, and close, derriere to the back, and close, demi-plie, and stretch. Now reversing. Keep lifting up nice and tall. Second, and close, devant, and close, demi-plie, and stretch. Okay, good. If you want to swap your ballet bar back to where it was before. And we're going to do a step now called a battement frappe. Now, it's quite a while since I've last taught a battement frappe in the virtual village hall. We've done ronde de jambes, we've done fondues, but today I thought it'd be nice to go back to a battement frappe again. Frappe means to strike. You're probably thinking of the drink of a frappe. I say it means to strike. It's spelled exactly the same way as the drink. So we're going to start facing our bar with our feet in third position. Your front foot on the introduction is going to lift up, so your heel is on your ankle bone. From here, we're going to point our foot to the side. Then as it closes in, your foot is going to flex again, but it's going to go to the back this time. And then it will go out to the side to a point and to the front. So we're keeping swapping, whether it's going to the front or the back. Point and flex and point and flex. It's excellent for coordination and speed. So this is like a preparation for a battement frappe that I'm doing today. Frappes can get very, very fast. So this is like a training for them today. So I'm going out and in, and out, and in, and out, and in. Now, as I've done it 3 times, if I put this foot down onto the floor, I've arrived back in third position, and I can lift my other leg up to the front, and I'm ready to go again. Point, and in, and point, and in, and point, and in, and then I'll put it down. You will find you'll travel further backwards with this exercise. So we're just going to do it once on each leg, so we're not going too far away from our bar. But like I say, it's all about speed and accuracy and the coordination. I find that when I'm teaching frappes, the thing that is most challenging about it is remembering when to flex your foot and when to point it, not getting it the wrong way round. So really thinking carefully that it's a flex when it's against your ankle and a point when it's in second. Flex, point, flex, point. Okay, let's give it a go. Feet in third. Lifting up your foot. Point and in. Point to the front. Point to the back. We'll put it down and lift up the other leg. And pointing and in. Pointing and in. Point and in. And we'll put it down to finish. Okay, good. Last exercise at the bar now to finish off, and I'm going to turn around my ballet bar back to this position where we've got one hand on the bar. This exercise is called a grand battement. Now, grand battement, it's very similar to the battement tendu that we did earlier on in the class. I have choreographed this exercise, so we're doing both legs on the one side, so we don't have to swap our chair over. So we go back to the position that we were in before with your hand on your waist and your hand on your ballet bar. We're going to use our outside leg to begin. I'm going to point my foot devant, which is in front. Now I'm going to keep my leg nice and straight as I lift it up, point it back down and close it in. So that's what we call a divided grand battement. That's the positions that our leg is going to go through. Point, lift, point, close. And we're going to do that twice in total. So point and a lift and a point and a close, and point and a lift and a point and a close. Now I'm going to connect together those first 2 points, and I'm going to go swish but then I'm still going to lower as a point and close. So I describe it as being like an aeroplane that goes along the runway before it takes off. So we do want to go along the full length of the runway before it goes off into the air. It's not just appearing out in the air. So we've done 2 divided grand battements and then 1 full grand battement. Point and a lift and a point and a close. Point and a lift and a point and a close. Swish and point and close. Demi-plie. Then we'll use the other leg. And a point and a lift and a point and a close. Same again. And lift and point and a close. And grand battement. Point and close. Demi-plie and stretch. Let's go with some music. Off we go. Outside leg. Lift. Point and close. Point and a lift. Grand battement. Demi-plie and stretch other leg. Point and a lift. And point and a close. Point and lift. Now into your grand battement. Demi-plie and stretch. Okay, good. So that's finished off our bar work there. So within those first 20-25 minutes, we've done our warm-ups, we've done our pliés, which was where we were bending and stretching, our tendus, pointing and closing, our battement frappés, meaning to strike, and our grand battements. You want to pop your ballet bars away, because we're going to come into the centre now for some exercise in the middle, and have a drink of water as well. Okay. Okay, right, I'll just have a quick drink of water. Okay. Okay, so like I said at the start of the lesson, we've got anybody who's joined us since then. So add into the comments, please, if this is your first ballet session. If you've maybe you've danced when you were younger, maybe this is your first ballet class. Also, it'd be great to hear where you're joining in from today. So today's session is based around the ballet of Sleeping Beauty. So in a minute, we're going to start off in the centre. And we're going to do what's called a port de bras, which that word came up earlier on in the lesson. And then we're going to do a little bit of repertoire from the Ballet of Sleeping Beauty. We're going to do the mime of Carabosse, who is the wicked fairy godmother. Okay, it's a great mime. It's a very famous sequence. Okay, so hello to all the people who are commenting with where you're joining in from. Okay, so we're going to start off with a port de bras. As I said at the beginning of the lesson, if you remember when we did our pliés, at the end we finished off with this movement with our arms. And I described it as a port de bras. So port de means carriage of, and your bras is your arms. So this is an exercise which is all about your arm movements. So we learned the 5 positions of the feet. Now we're going to talk about the positions of the arms. If you just stand with your feet in first position, and you're going to place your hands into a nice oval shape. And this shape is called bras bar. So your elbows are pointing to the side. We say your hands are as wide apart as your face. And we want our shoulders to be nice and relaxed. Okay. So now if you keep your hands in exactly the same shape and lift them up so that it's opposite your waist. So I'll just turn to face the side, you can see. So I'm not changing the shape at all. It's just lifting up so it's opposite my waist. That's first position. Now, if I open my arms out to the side, I've got second position. If I bring one hand back across, I've got a third position. Okay, so bras bar, first, second, and third. And we can do third position with either hand in front. In fact, it's quite nice just to swap your hands from third to third. And we're going to use that in a moment. Just going back to your bras bar in first position, if you keep your hands going all the way up to the top, we've actually reached their 5th position. Just be careful your hands don't go behind you and it's not affecting your posture. Hands stay in front of you a little bit in 5th. We say it's opposite your hairline. And then we can open out to second and down to bras bar. And we're going to use all of those positions there. The other position we didn't cover there was 4th. Okay, so We're going to start off with this third to third movement of our arms. And we're going to add a little sway in with it. So I'll just talk about your feet first of all. So we're going to point our foot to the side. So point your right foot to the side. I always teach everything as a mirror image. So you just follow it along like you're following in a mirror. Okay, so if we transfer our weight, there's a little sway. And now try adding in a demi-plie in the middle. Plie and stretch. Plie and stretch. Plie and stretch. Now let's try some arms with it. So arms in third position. As you go to the right, your arms will go to the right. As you go to the left, your arms go to the left. And sway. And sway. Okay, so we're going to take, with our right foot, sway and sway. Now we're going to go step, together, step. Okay, now after you do your two sways, sway and step, together, step. If you don't like doing that step, together, step, you can just take it as another sway and a hold. What you might find it easy to do is as you do the step, together, step, is to actually take it slightly up onto our demi points, just like we talked about at the bar. And your arms just sway very naturally with that. So from the beginning, 1 and 2 and step, together, step. We'll repeat the other way. 1 and 2 and step, together, step. So we've done that sequence twice. Now, as though you're going to go into a third one, so you're going to go round in this direction, we're going to walk round in a little circle on the spot, walking round. And 2 and 3, and we'll finish with our feet in first and our hands in bras bar. We're going to take a full port de bras, arms first, up to fifth, opening out to second, and this time we'll prepare our left leg to the side. 1 and 2 and step, together, step. 1 and 2 and step, together, step. Walking around, all the way round, into the middle, feet in first, port de bras up to the top, and opening out and down. Okay, on those walks round, as dancers, we always try and walk with our big toe leading. Okay, normally as you're walking, you'd walk with your heel leading, but as dancers, we would try and get our big toe as we're rippling through as we're walking. So if you want to just have a practice walking around your room, you can just do that little walk in a circle with your big toe leading the way. Okay, so we've got those sway, sway, step, together, step. We do that twice. Then we walk round and then into a nice big full port de bras, and then we'll repeat it again. Okay, let's give that a go with music. So feet in first position. Pointing your right foot to the side and preparing your arms. And we're going to sway, sway, and sway. Step, together, step. Sway, sway. Step, together, step. Walking round. 2, 3, get ready for your full port de bras. And we'll repeat again. 1, 2, step, together, step. 1, 2, step, together, step, walking round. And port de bras, opening out. Oh, very nice. Such a dancey piece of music, that. So that is from Sleeping Beauty, that piece of music. And it's just a nice port de bras, that, just to really get you moving. Just thinking, sure, I think we'll do that one again, actually, because it's such a nice piece of music to dance to. So let's give it another go. So sway to the right, and 1, 2, step, together, step. 1, 2, step, together, step, walking round. And port de bras, going to the left, to the left, to the right. Really enjoy those sways. And the sway. Sway. Step together, step. And walking round. Forward abroad. And opening out. Okay, good. Right, we're going to go on to our repertoire now. If you want to have a quick drink of water just before we go on to it. Okay. If you've got any questions, by the way, about Silver Swans, please feel free to put them into the chat. I'll go through afterwards and answer any questions that you might have about anything. Silver Swans, like I say, it's all ballet classes specifically for the over 55s. Now, when I do my own Silver Swans classes, both in person, I'm in Manchester, and also in my online Zoom classes, my Silver Swans, I know they absolutely love doing mime. And it's something that we've really focused on actually with my Silver Swans this term. And we've had so much fun doing it. So probably one of the most famous mime sequences is this dance, is this little segment from Sleeping Beauty. Could we just have a little bit of the music, please? It's very menacing. This is from the prologue of the ballet. Okay. Where Caraboss, the evil, very wicked fairy godmother, comes out and puts her curse on Aurora. Okay, thank you. So Caraboss, like I said, she's the wicked fairy godmother. She is very unhappy that she has not been invited to the Aurora's christening. So this all happens in the prologue which is the christening as a whole. So the fairies have all given their gifts. And then Caraboss appears, and when she appears, she normally has lots of rats with her, and she comes out of her carriage, and sometimes she has a cane, and she's walking on, and she stands there, and she says to the queen, "Did you think that you could forget me? Why?" So we have these mime sequences, like you could say you. And then it was forget me. So we're going to come across some of these mimes. Ballet almost has, obviously because there's no spoken word in ballet, I'll just go through some basic ones. Like this would be marriage, so pointing down to your ring finger. We would have love, listening, do listening on either side. To dance. That doesn't really, if you saw it in a ballet, you might not necessarily understand what it means, but that actually means to dance, and it means that somebody's about to come out and do a solo or a dance. One of my favourite ones is we have a beautiful lady, or just meaning beautiful, and also a handsome man. A handsome man. Okay, so there's lots of different mime in ballet, and this is just a sequence that is absolutely packed full of mime. So, Caraboss, she has made her entrance. They've explained that, yes, of course, it was just a mistake that we didn't invite you. But she knows otherwise, and she's it's almost turning vindictive now in her behaviour. And you can really see this in this little sequence where she's explaining, you need to listen to me, what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to give the baby a present. And she says that she's going to, well, you'll find out in a moment, and then eventually she puts the curse on Aurora, which of course is counteracted by the Lilac Fairy. Okay, so we're going to start up at the back of our room. Now, Caraboss, she has on this fantastic long black dress. Now, sometimes they have a bit of a headpiece as well, and she has all of her rats all around the stage as well. She's already made her entrance, but this is the main sequence here of the mime. So you can just stand there with one foot, just point out to the side, and you can just stand there, just looking very intimidating, really. So we're going to go, no, and we're going to tell people to stop. And we're going to walk forwards, take some walks forwards. And we're going to do, because the queen is now in your lower left corner, and we're going to take a little curtsy, And it's almost a little bit mocking the way how we do that curtsy. And we're going to say, you, to the Queen, are going to listen. So I'm just using the tip of my middle finger. I'm saying, listen to me as I speak. And to say to speak, I'm going to, it's like I'm almost pulling the words out of my mouth, but it's the tip of my middle finger. I'm going 1, 2, 3. So I'm saying, you listen to me. And as I say to speak, you can take some steps forwards as you do that, as I speak. Okay. So you make this your big entrance, this. So we're standing there. And we're saying, stop. And then you walk on. You do a little curtsy out of politeness. You listen to me as I speak. Okay, let's go from the beginning with music up to there. Okay, so we've just got a few counts introduction here. Okay, so stop. I'm walking on. And a little curtsy. You listen to me as I speak. Okay, good. So now we're going to start talking about the baby. So we're going to imagine as the Queen is in the lower left downstage corner, the baby is in the upper left corner. So we're going to take some steps and we're going to go point to the baby. The baby. We're going to talk about, and she grows up, we're going to say, she will be this height, and then she will grow to be this height, and then she will grow to be this height. So we're saying that she will grow up. The baby, again, she will be beautiful. So she's making it seem as though she's given a very nice gift at the minute. She will be beautiful and have beautiful skin. Okay, so we've told her that she's going to listen while we speak. We're going to say the baby, she will grow up, and Carabosse will have quite a smile on her face at this moment. She's not letting on. She's going to grow up this height and this height. The baby, she will be beautiful and have beautiful skin. And then you hear the music change because everybody's like, oh, thank goodness, she's giving nice presents. And then she goes, but. And that's where she changes her mind. So you bring, everything's very nice, you're going to have beautiful skin, and then you look to the Queen and you say, but. Okay, let's try that from the very beginning now. Okay, are we ready? And stop. Walking forwards. And little curtsy. You listen to me as I speak. The baby will grow up. The baby, she will have beautiful skin. She's beautiful, will have beautiful skin. But, okay, now, this is the moment where Carabosse goes for a little wander around the stage and basically scares people a bit. So you're going to go for a little bit of a stomp around the stage. You're throwing your arms up to try and, you're kind of intimidating some people, and because everybody doesn't know what you're going to do. So we're just going to wander around. We're going away from the Queen. So of course we've interrupted this christening. So we're going to go away, and you can really, swoop your hands out, look back to the Queen, really kind of very menacing as you're walking. But of course it's very regal air about us as well. And then we say, the baby. And we walk slowly now, because this is the moment that everybody is worried about. What is she said? But bring your hand in front of you. So we slowly bring that hand in front. And we take our other hand at the side and we say, well, the needle of a spinning jenny is going to, a spinning wheel, that's the word I'm looking for, spinning wheel. She is going to prick her finger. So I've gone the baby, I've walked around to the front, very smooth, because nobody knows what she's going to say. She's lifting up the needle and she's going to say she's going to prick her finger. And then it is the mime, meaning to die. This appears a lot in Romeo and Juliet. So we lift both hands up and we cross our wrists with your fists clenched, and that means to die. You see that a lot in the ballet Romeo and Juliet, like I said. And that is the moment where it sends everybody into a panic in the ballet, and the lilac fairy, of course, then comes out because she hasn't given her gift yet. And so she says, no, the baby, when she pricks her fingers, she won't die. She will fall asleep. Okay, so we've gone for our little wander around the stage where we're very unhappy and we're scaring people, and then we say the baby. We walk round, we bring our hand in front, and we say she will prick her finger and die. And it's very dramatic, that flourish at the end. This normally when I do sequences when I do little bits of repertoire in these virtual village hall sequences, I do modify the choreography, but this is pretty much actually the original choreography. You know, it's a very famous sequence, this. So I really hope you've enjoyed getting into the character of Carabosse. It takes a dancer so long to really perfect this mime sequence, where, you know, it's lovely playing the queens and the princesses and things like that, but to take on, you know, a villain like this, it's something that takes a lot of practice for a dancer to do. Let's have a go from the very beginning now. Time, just have one more go before we finish. Okay, let's go from the beginning. Okay. And stop. Walking on. And a little curtsy. You listen to me as I speak. The baby, she will grow up a little bit taller and a little bit taller. The baby, she will be beautiful and have beautiful skin. But if you go around the stage, the baby walking into the middle, ready, she will prick her finger and okay. Good, right, okay. On that very dramatic note, we'll finish off with our curtsy and cool down now. So if you've got any gentlemen joining in with us today, you can always just take a step to the side and into a bow, and take a step to the side and into a bow. And any ladies joining in, we have our hands in demi-second like they're on the edge of our tutu. We're stepping to the side. You put your foot at the back on the ball of your foot or on the flat, whichever you find most stable. We take a bend and stretch, stepping to the side, and a little curtsy. And so we'll work that in with our cool down, like we did with the warm up, just following along, nice and easy cool down. So feet together, just thinking about your breathing. Thinking about your breathing. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. your room, just thinking about your breathing. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay. Well done, everybody. Good. Okay, so as I said before, if you can add in the comments, please put in whereabouts you're joining us from today. It would be lovely to hear from you. Have you done ballet before? I really hope you've enjoyed today's session and learning a little bit of Caraboss's mime from Sleeping Beauty. It's such a theatrical role, and I know my Silver Swans, who I teach both in person and in my online sessions, my online Zoom classes, I know they absolutely love doing mime. So I hope that you have done as well today. Okay, enjoy the weekend, everybody, and I hope to see you again soon. I'm normally in the virtual village hall about once a month. I will put into the comments, actually, when my next session is. I just haven't got it in front of me right now. Got any questions, pop them into the comments as well. Okay, bye, everybody.